Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be another installment in the Master and League Play series, and I'm going to be talking through Garrison. It's going to be tips and tricks on Garrison, nice lines of sight, and it should help you master the map a bit more. I mean, there might be some things you already know, but I'm hoping for at least all of you guys there's one thing you might not be aware of on the map. So yeah, hopefully this covers that. But if there are any I've missed, if there are any obvious things that you're like, Harry, how have you not found this? Pop it in the comments. I'm sure. I mean, there was for my raid tips and tricks video, some comments with new bits which I was completely unaware of. So I'm well up for learning some things new. But let's get straight into it. Enough of the rambling. Let's crack on with the first couple of bits I'm going to show you, starting with this area. So you actually spawn here if you are defending on control. And you actually spawn here as well if you are this side on the P5 hardpoint. From here, there's really not much you can do. To avoid getting ripped off the spawn, I would recommend checking green and this sort of area and pre-aiming sort of all the ways these areas if you know they're sort of the enemy team are sort of this sort of area of the map. So I recommend that. Obviously, you can get up on here. Other than that, there's not really much you can do. If you are now attacking, say you're in control, the spawns are very sticky. If you're in control and you're attacking, they will most likely be spawning in that little room where I was just in. And to hold them back, there are numerous places you can be. So, first spot I like is lying down here. From here, you have info. As long as someone's watching like this side, obviously, you have info for them running through here to the left or through here to the left. You can't necessarily get a kill from this position because the angles are quite tight, but it does allow you to get info and then re-chow when needs be, or chow this guy if he's walked this way, so on and so forth. Moving on to the next little area, it's going to be over here. Obviously, again, they're going to be spawning back here, and if you actually stand in this position, you can see them spawn. They literally spawn in front of you in this area where I'm looking right here. So if you wanted to, you could sit here, pick them off. It's probably better off with the Krig because it's such a beam. Pick them off spawn as they're running, and the only really way they can kill you is if they jump over the wall and rail you, but obviously if you're here, you're going to be aware of that. So maybe get a kill here, move on to the submarine tank thing. You'll be able to see people crossing here. So here, again, you can watch this area. You'll have info of people crossing over to tanks this way, but any people coming up this way, you will get the pick easily. Furthermore, you can get up onto this forklift. Now, this is actually one of my favourite positions, because one, you have all the info if they're running out towards tanks, towards lights area, but you can actually jump up like this and get free intel on anyone running out this way. So if you wanted, you can just literally just do this, wait for someone to be there, and then chow them like that, and you have the upper hand right there. They're not going to be expecting this whatsoever. On top of these boxes is a nice way. Say for example, if your enemy team are holding P2 and there's top satellite, coming up here, sliding over to this heady here, and just trying to get a pick from up here is ideal. It's probably the best chance you got if you're an AR of helping break the hill, get the initial entry kill, and then it allows your SMGs to go push on and get the remaining kills to break the hard point. Low bricks area, there's not really much I can show you, other than obviously these are all headies and you can climb on top of all of them, which you guys are probably already aware of. Annoyingly, you can't get up there. That would be pretty cool. But you can actually get up on this one, and I do find this one quite useful. So if you're up on this one and you strafe to the left, say for example you're defending this control point here, or even the hard point when it's over this area near the satellite. As long as you've got someone watching lights, you should be good here, because essentially if someone pushes you aiming to come through these archways, you're going to have the upper hand. You're pre-aiming this, and they're not really going to be looking all the way up here. They might shoot your toes and eventually make their way up to your main body, but chances are you're going to have their upper hand here. But you will also see them running through to P5 through this little crack here. You'll see them running across like this, which means that you can then have info, and then you can peek this, see them running across, or even give info to your teammates who sat back here watching lights. That's a nice little spot. Coming up to the P2 hardpoint, or A control, I think it is. Yeah, A control. These boxes lead you a nice heady to be able to like focus into green. If you've got a Krig. If you've got a sub, you can jump up on these boxes and sort of play like this, peek this way. This is a nice counter to the people up on those boxes. They're not really looking up there, they're sort of looking up here. If you're quick enough and your reactions are good enough, you'll be able to pick people off quite easily there. This is a credit corner. If you just simply want to let people come through and check the hard point, this is a tight corner, they might not see you here. they run across. As long as your screen's sort of here, so you'll see them come out, you can turn and get your kill like so. Furthermore, you can jump off it. You can jump off here, work your way around the map, and jump back on, and then chow people here. So, for example, if they're, I don't know, it just throws them off. They might be like, what the hell's going on here? And in fact, if you're down here, you can use these boxes as a heady, get a quick kill, and then jump back up. It might be quite unsuspecting for them. If you are on this point and you are defending, either hard point or control, you can jump up on this little bit here, and like this, you can have a nice little point into the left side of green. You'll also be able to pick anyone coming off hill, coming out of green here onto the hill. But as long as your bricks are covered, you should be fine. I think this goes without saying, to be fair. You can also backwards jump onto this railing here, and you actually get a nice little heady here. If you crouch, you're completely covered. If you stand up, you've got full entry into green right there, and you can do that along this side as well, all the way here. You can jump up on here. This is quite a common spot, so this will be commonly checked, which is why I tend to not. But from here, if you know they're spawning down in bricks, you've got as an AR, you've got a nice little peak spots through these areas like there, and you can actually jump up right to the top here and channel out like this. They're not necessarily going to be expecting you to be this high up on the satellite. There's a nice little point here. You can see where this dead body is, where you can actually be off the control or off the hard point, and you can play a bit cruddy here. So, for example, if you're low on lives and you're just trying to get a couple of picks just to delay them winning the round, for example, on control, you can lie down here. You're not going to be shown as being on the hard points. They're going to be thinking no one's here. You can then just, pick a couple of people off quite easily. You can jump up on here, and this is a nice little spot because from here you're protected from both low bricks, unless they get this nice slit of an angle there. But as long as someone's watching your low bricks, you should be good here. And from here you can literally, you've got this nice little heady into green. But your head is the only thing showing. So if they check this area and they shoot you, you are going to die very quickly. That's going to do it with this area. A couple of trophy points. You can put a trophy system up here quite easily, and that's quite nice because anything really gets thrown into here will be picked off by that. Similarly, you can put them on top of that container, and they're not really going to be known about them. You're going to be driving them insane with those trophy points. Skipping right back through to this area of the map. This is P5 or square or L. I've heard it called all sorts. You can actually see under this main centre bit, which would be nice for. This was better for S&D, to be fair, when S&D was a thing on Garrison. But this is a nice little area for you guys if you wanted a bit of info or a initial damage press. You can actually get on top of this as well. So if you're trying to play your life and you're running from a couple of people, if you get up here, they're not going to be expecting you up here. You can then just rail them as they come around the corner. And you can also do the same up here as well, but obviously you're far more open to the rest of the map from here. Say for example you're coming off spawn and control. This is a god heady to sit at. If you crouch, you're hidden. If you stand, you can beam. And anyone sat either at 18 wheeler or even you can wallbang caution or plat right there. But you'll see anyone coming through the mid and you'll be able to pick them off with ease. You can also jump on top of here, but this provides no added use. Moving on, P5. Say for example, your team is holding green with ARs, and you are on the hill. They're going to be spawning back here. So a nice little spot I like is to jump up here, and you can, again, similar to the spot over at the forklift here, you can jump and get intel into lights, or you can actually sit here. You're on a sort of heady here. They can see the very slight edge of your body. But this is going to be picking 99% of people off guard the first time you do it. So this is a nice little spot to defend people running into bricks right there. With regards to lights, obviously you can jump in here, and that is that. There's not really much else you can do here. If I was to contest this spot, so for example, this is B, B control. I actually like to lie down. If they can't see it, they'll be pre-aiming this. Because it will tell you it will tell them you're on the point. They'll be pre-aiming this. So chances are they're going to be pre-aiming way over your head, and you'll be able to get a free kill there. Because they're simply not going to see you. On top of these boxes, you're actually able to see low green. So for example, if you've just cleared it, if you're playing as a prig, you've cleared a few people off this control site or this hill, and you fear that they may be jumping into green. You can just, instead of running up to the bridge, you can simply jump up here, and you've got a nice window being able to pick them on their way to green, and hopefully you shouldn't be losing those gunfights like that. You have vent, but there's really not much about vent other than the fact that you can crawl through it. So I'm going to move straight on from that. From bridge, From green, sorry, you actually have a nice little angle into their spawn. So if you know they're spawning that way and have an absolute beam on you, and you have a Krig, or any gun, if you've got a beam on you, or a sniper, for example, you can get a couple of spawn kills right there. It's quite a nice little area to be. Other than that, it's quite difficult to find. I mean, you guys probably know about the common ones in here, so I'm not really going to talk about them. I'm just going to talk about the ones that are a bit more specialised. You can get onto bridge other than by going into green or through the steps. The quickest way from this side is to jump up into this slanted panel here, walk up to the top, and then simply jump up like that, and then you're in. That's 2 jumps. It's no time at all. And you can do this from the other side, but you can actually do it from the tank. So, for example, like this, you run up, and you're on, and then you're in green. Simple as that. I think that's going to be it. Yeah. You can actually, there's a nice little heady here as well into their spawn. So, for example, if your job role is to watch big door and left, you can sit here. You'll see anyone crossing over to this side, and in which case you pick them off. But if not, you can get a couple of spawn kills just like so. Where else is this area in the map? You have this area. This is P4, low float sort of area. If I was to break green, there's a couple of options I would do. First off, I would either jump across like this, and then I rarely jump up here. I rarely jump up this ladder. It's a more open area, and chances are you're more prone to being shot here. I nearly say 99% of the time I end up jumping through this window. You're less prone to being shot on the right here. But yeah, I'd tend to jump onto the bins first, because they're going to be listening. They're going to be listening for a sound cue. If they don't hear one until you're here, and in which case you jump, that's going to be the first notice of you jumping in. Whereas if they're sound horn and you jump up like this, that first jump is going to make a noise to them. They're going to hear that you're here. So when you eventually jump up, they're going to be ready for you. So not making any sound, jumping up onto these first, and jumping over, and then onto there, and then up there is probably the best way I could think about doing it. But I would always jump up into the window rather than the door first. Moving on, these are all wall bangers. One of these bins are wall bangers. If you know someone's here, just try wall bangers. Chances are you're going to get a couple of hits, weaken them, maybe kill them, depends on how long they sat there. That's a nice little thing to know. Capturing the hard point on this, when it's on this area, you can do it from up here. This is actually a nice spot because you can watch the whole of dark area. If someone's watching your plat, you sound, but you can watch plat from here as well. And chances are you've got someone in green watching under you through to this area of the map. So this is a nice spot to contest or just capture the point. And from here you can jump up here. I don't know, and then chow people that are on this. I don't know, something like that. But that's nice to know you can just jump all the way over there. From here, obviously you can sit up here like this, and you've got a nice little angle into the sort of all areas of the map. You can see into green here. But there's a nice spot on the edge here, which people may not know about, and it's essentially a way you can peek all the way into green. So, for example, if you are attacking in control and you've really only got this to capture, you know this area is clear because they're sort of fully focused in here. Try and extend your aim all the way along to this end, and you might be able to get a pick you might not have sat on these boxes right here. Moving on swiftly to this area of the map. This is called artillery, or loading, or whatever you want to call it. There's really not much to you guys here, but if you know someone's in green, a nice little pick spot is back here over these boxes. They might not be expecting this, probably expect you to jump to this city first. But if you can get back here, chow on this, it's a 50-50 gunfight rather than being right here and crouched, because you are quite open here and you don't have much maneuverability when you're crouched. Moving on to 18-wheeler, you can jump up every single side of it. You can sit in this. You can trap people back in spawn as so. Yeah, it gives you a good little spot into mid-map as well. If you know people's running through here, sitting on here is a nice. You can pick off people in bridge or running from P1 in through to dark. This is a nice area for that. You can also jump up on this. I'm not really sure what the logical use is for being up here, but it's a nice spot nonetheless. Furthermore, you can say, for example, you're defending on control. You can counter the boxes I showed you back in P5 or square simply by jumping onto this box and strafing over slightly. That's the boxes right there, and you'll be able to pick them off there if you've got a gunny on you. You also then go from here to here and pre-aim any other area that you feel like you need to. I wouldn't necessarily towel green from here because this is quite a common spot and you're very, very open. Instead, I would choose to sit up here and either wait for them to reveal themselves this side or wait for them to reveal themselves at the window. Chances are they're not going to be coming this way, but you will see them drop down and then you'll be able to pick off here. And again, on a nice little header, you'll be able to crouch behind like so. Moving on to the garage area, you can jump on top of these, and obviously you can see through all of these windows, and you can shoot through all of these windows as well, so then that's nice to know. But if you're trying to cover this sort of area, lying down here is a nice spot because they're not going to be expecting you to be here, and it's easy to dip out of that gunfight like so. If you are trying to anchor or block spawns this side for P3, you can sit behind this fan, and from here you've got a nice vision into mid, and you can then come across and switch like so. And this way you're blocking spawns and watching the whole of mid and right side of the hill. Likewise, you can do the exact same here. If you know someone's managed to find their way into the garage sitting here, they can shoot your legs frustratingly, but you can actually shoot them through here like this. And furthermore, if you can get yourself up onto this area, say for example you're holding this point, you've got spawns, someone's watching dark, someone's watching tools, you can sit here. If you've got a Krig, if you're playing AR, this is a nice spot to sit because you've got the whole of artillery covered as well as the whole of mid-map covered very easily. Other than that, there's really not much to show for this sort of area of the map. P3 is a bit of a dead area. You can capture the point from up here, which is useful if you're trying to, I don't know, be a bit unsuspecting. A nice trophy point's up there if you guys want to hide a trophy anywhere like that. You can also hide one up there, so if any are thrown out of this area, that will pick it up. If I'm defending this point and my job is to watch dark, I like to come here. As long as tools is covered by my teammate and as long as the spawn is covered by the teammates, the chance of people expecting to be this deep to the right as they're running out are going to be slim, and you're going to win this gunfight 1 or 2 times, and obviously then you're going to have to move or something like that. So that's going to do it for P3. Moving on to tools and caution. There's really not much to talk about in tools other than the fact that if you sit back here and pre-aim over this heady, you've got a nice spot into their spawn. This is wall bangable, but it does give you a little bit more protection than obviously standing out here like that. But if you're playing control and you've got the trap back and spawn, and if you have a Krig, sit here and you'll be able to pick a few people off like so. On top of the box guys, I showed you guys earlier where you can capture the hard point. If you come up here, you can actually jump and check that, and then you can do the same into green. You can find it, but you're going to just jump to make sure they're there. So that's a nice little spot. Obviously, this is a nice area to be able to lock down a lane, and from here you can jump up and check green if needs be. This is actually a nice spot I only found out sort of recently, or used recently. If you are concerned about people being in green, or say for example the hard point under float is the one that's active, your teammates are spawning back at P3 side, and you're simply trying to defend them coming from green or this area. Here is a lovely position. If you focus in P1 or vent, they can't shoot you from green. If you're focusing green or even low mid map, they can't shoot you from P1. So this is a nice spot to be if you want a bit of map control, pick a few people off guard. This is a nice little area. So I think that's going to do it pretty much. There's not much to say other than that. I did miss one point at satellite, and that's the fact that you can see under the satellite. So if you want to shoot some ankles, you can do so from here. So if you want to just simply check for info or get some damage done, you can shoot through there. But that's actually going to do it. It's nearly 20 minutes. It's a long video. I'm sure you don't want to hear many more of me, but I'm going to leave it with that. If I've missed any bits that you guys would like to share with the other viewers of the video, pop it in the comments. It'd be interesting to know what I have missed. It's hard to think of all of these on the spot. I mean, I do plan ahead of this video just to make sure I don't miss anything, but I will have missed things I do, and some things are just automatically. So let me know if I have missed anything. Let me know if you found any of these areas, top or spots or tips and tricks useful at all. And yeah, that's going to do it. I will see you guys in the next video, and yeah, take care. Bye bye.